Yo, what up guys, Ferocious here. In today's video I'm going to talk about all the trades I took last week, including wins and losses. I think y'all will learn a lot from this video, so let's start with the first trade. So the first trade I'm going to talk about was a trade on Tuesday, which was a trade on HO, the oil triad. So coming into Tuesday, which is this daily candle, let me replay this. Coming into the day, I saw that we are pretty bullish, no need to really reverse here. We form some sort of retracement after this expansion, so we get a new phase of price, which is good, and we form a new fractal SMT here on the lows with CL. At the same time, y'all can see CL making lower lows here, so is RB making lower lows here. So the overall strongest asset to long is HO. So that's why I was looking for longs on HO as the leader asset to the upside. And on Tuesday, which was really a little bit a weird day since we had banking holiday, intraday price action as well within this candle here. But we get the SMT on the lows like this. We have the SMT with RB expanding away from the SMT. Same for CL, lower time frame expanding away, but you will see that in a minute. So we had this SMT here. Daily is qualifying as an expansion candle. So this technically is a C2 candle since the other assets took the low, so we can target the high. From there we are looking for a 4-hour C2, C3 or potentially C4 candle to trade higher. So we have the SMT, we can see the expansion away. Even on the other assets we have the SMT, we can see it move away. And on the weakest asset we even have the SMT and we move away. So this is a valid SMT. So from there I was simply waiting for this 2 AM candle to close since I'm trading from 6 AM or 10 AM candles. So this was the first opportunity to trade on the 4-hour. So we form a swing point from this OB here as well, but I just used this as a swing point. So I saw we are failing to manipulate this relevant high if we are going to reverse, which was not really likely based on the high time frame narrative. But if we are willing to reverse, it should be here, or we should at least go to the target here. So this candle closed strong, so I looked for continuations within the next candle. So basically continuation play on the 4-hour. So from there, what are we looking for? We are looking for a new fractal. Since I missed the first fractal here on HO, this was the first opportunity here at the low of the day with SMT, so it was good to trade this candle or this candle, but as this formed in the 2 AM candle, I waited for the next 4-hour candle to open. And where is the next opportunity? We get the next opportunity here, where we form an SMT. So technically we are trading again a C2 candle here, and this is closing as a PSP later as well. But I was looking for buys inside this 30-minute candle and with the open from the 6 AM candle in this at the same time. So both were aligned here to expand higher, the 30-minute and 1-hour, and the 6-hour. And so was the daily candle based on the small wick here at the bottom to make an expansion higher. So currently we have the daily as a technical C2 candle with the SMT. We have SMT at low of the day to confirm this as a low of the day to trade away. We are failing to reverse from this high. So failure to manipulate this high, we are likely going to continue to the next high. From there we look for a new fractal. This can be a C2, C3. We use here the SMT here. So from there I was looking for an entry technique I'm using. And this was basically the entry technique. Like this, we have the SMT, we have a good down close candle here. So this is qualified as a good order block. Once we retested this OB, I put my stop loss at this low, maybe it was a tick below, I'm not sure anymore, but I was targeting 3R just a little above the high like that, and I got my 3R. Yeah, it was exactly like this. I put a limit here after we closed above, and I got filled and played out. So I'm aligning the daily to the 4-hour, to the 30-minute or 1-hour, in this case 30-minute, to an entry within all those time frames I'm looking for an expansion at the same time. So on the 4 hour I'm looking for the expansion, on the daily as well, but so do I on the 30 minute and 1 hour. I'm looking for an expansion. So this was the first trade, so let's go to the second trade. So the second trade is a trade on YM. This was on Thursday. So coming into the day also, I was a little bit unsure based of the intraday price action, but I will go over that. We had of course this C2 closure on the daily, but also a bearish C2 closure. But why will we leave these highs here? This makes no sense. So this was the target and this high as well for this day. We had the small wick on the daily of course, but we also have this SMT to confirm this as a reversal here. Like this. So we are trading away. So we are technically trading the C3 for higher prices. So from the 4 hour, what do we want to see? Let me remove this. We already had this gap. So if bullish, we should not really trade and close below the gap. We can wick below, but we should not close below. We are forming a swing point here. So we have the internal to external. And what do we do if we are not reversing from the external? We're targeting the next high. So that's what we're doing here. We're targeting this high. So after this closure and the 6 AM closure, I was looking for 10 AM continuation since we had the SMT here as well. So from here we have the daily SMT on our side on YM. So the daily strength is on our side, as y'all can see. Lower low on ES, lower low on NQ. So the strength on the daily is on YM, but also here on the 4 hour we have the strength. So from here we look for a fractal 1 hour or 30 minute. Both we're valid here. I use the 1 hour here from the gap. So we have like the internal to the external here on the 1 hour as well. Once again, great invalidation point. And how do we trade this as the C2 candle? If we have SMT of course. And we had SMT, we saw ES lower low here and NQ the same lower low. So we have SMT, we are trading higher. So from here we have the daily 4 hour and 1 hour strength, and even for my entry we had the 3 minute strength on our side as well. So you could have traded this as the first CISD here from the gap. I was a little bit unsure about NQ and ES both reversing here, trading down and not showing higher prices or willingness to go higher yet, but at the time of my entry we really saw ES and Q go higher as well, and that's how we qualify this SMT, right? Every time trading away with all the assets. So I was looking for a new opportunity after the CISD. So where's the new opportunity? We have this OB, but I traded this one here, this CISD, since we already, or we did put in this SMT here as well. So we have the daily 4 hour, 1 hour and the lower time frame strength on our side to trade this as longs. So you cannot find like the better strength on an asset with all the time frames showing strength. So I took a long around the closure, maybe a little bit higher, for 3R to the high, like this, with the stop just around the low. So I think it was like this for 3R, TP'd at the high, and we moved pretty clean higher when the other assets synced as well for higher prices and NQ. And this is basically why you will not trade the lagging asset, since it's just weaker in the end. So we want to trade the leading asset or the middle most of the times, or the lagging asset if there's a strength switch, but we will go over that in the next trade. So this was the second trade, and now I will talk about my last trade of the week. So this was my last trade of the week. This was on oil. I needed 2 shots for this trade, and I will go over it. Why? So coming into the day, I was bullish. And why is this? We formed a C2 closure, so technically we already have the bias aligned for a C3 on the daily. But here we had the phases of price as well, since HO and RB in the beginning of the week were way stronger than CL, and you will see that like this. You can already see RB taking this high, HO taking the high way stronger, and CL not taking the high like this. So we have a bearish SMT as well. But what are the leading assets doing? Are we really reversing here? No. This is more looking like a retracement. Look on HO. Going higher, retrace, going higher. It's more looking like this was a retracement to then continue still based on the candle closures as well. and how we behave around this level. So then we can look for CL catch-ups to the highs, but then we want a lower time frame for our 1 hour strength switch to really indicate that CL wants to go to this high. Maybe this will happen next week, or this high today. So based on that, I was looking for a strength switch on CL. We already got the strength switch here, like this, but also on the 1 hour, and I will show y'all in a bit. So we have a clear target here, equal highs, relevant swings here. So this 2 AM candle once again closed as a swing, like this, from the SMT here on the daily as well. So we have SMT and then the strength switch. So this is kind of a two-stage as well. So I decided to look for longs within the next 4 hour candle, so the 6 AM candle here. If we get a small wick, of course, not a deep retracement, and we get that. So we have the swing. So from here we have a daily C3 with SMT on the lows. We have a 4 hour C3 here lining up with the strength switch to trade. Then we look for a fractal on the 1 hour or 30 minute. Today I use the 1 hour since we get clear SMTs on the 1 hour to trade towards the target. So let me pull this up. So every time another asset, even here from low of the day, every time another asset is making a lower low on the 1 hour, CL is making a higher low, really indicating the strength here. So I was looking for trades within the next 1 hour candle here. So the 6 AM candle, I started to hunt for longs. Once we get the SMT here, it was really confirmed to look for longs. So the first opportunity I took was a kind of decent trade. Could have been better, but it was a decent trade. So we had this SMT here on the 5 minute. So I decided to jump in around this SMT closure like this. Maybe it was not the best V shape, but mechanically it was kind of aligned since the other asset traded away from this SMT as well. So I had my stop a little below the SMT like this to target for 4R to the highs. So y'all can see this getting stopped out, of course. So what do we do then? We wait for a new fractal to align or a new entry sequence, since the overall idea of higher prices on the 1 hour here, but also on the 30 minute is still not invalidated, since we have the new fractal on the 30 minute here as well, like this. So you could have traded basically both, since we already have the SMTs on the 1 hour and then the 30 minute fractal here. So you could have looked for the 1 hour and 30 minute fractal here. Both were clean. So this is the fractal here. We have the stop run here into CISD like this. And we have the CISD here. So what can we do? We can look for a retest from this gap like this to target the high here. So I basically ended on the 5 minute here. So we had the 5 minute CISD within the gap here, or we made a gap like this. I put my limit here at the gap, my stop around the stop run like this, and my target was previous day high for about 3R. So maybe it was a tick lower. Trade was like this for 3R towards previous day high, and it did a decent run higher still, but I'm taking what I can get, and this will show you why this loss doesn't mean anything when the higher time frame idea is still there. So I can risk another shot to trade. So my trade was here. I got some small hiccups with the trade copy here, so I entered here, and I targeted just below the previous high, a tick below, I guess. Yeah, and this is basically how you can still look for another trade opportunity if the 30 minute 1 hour is still aligned with the SMTs and the fractal. So we had the 1 hour fractal here because the SMTs here and the PSP before the pump, and we have the 30 minute fractal here as well. So clean trade overall. So this is one trade idea where I took 2 shots, 1 loss and 1 win. So I count this as a one trade idea, but the RR is 2.5 since I lowered my risk on the first one. And I took my second shot here to make up for the loss. So I ended up around 2.5R on this trade. So this was basically my weekly recap. This week was a very good week for me. Last week I had some losses as well, but this is a very good week. But I'm putting in the consistency, showing the concepts day in, day out, how I apply it, and I hope you all learned something from this, and I will see you all next week.